By the end of this video, you will learn 7 hidden tricks that will help you when you are using Audacity. Now, some of these tips are things I wish I knew earlier, as well as answers to questions that I receive on this channel quite a bit. There is something in this video for everyone, so beginners and advanced users will benefit from watching till the end. Let's get started. So you're going to want to have Audacity open. And the first of the 7 hidden tricks is actually several shortcuts that will be helpful when you are using the program. So most of you are familiar with the tools that are available to you in the center here, and you can reach these by shortcuts. So the F1 will bring up the selection tool. If I press F2, that'll bring up the envelope tool. So each one of those has shortcuts. So F1 through F6 will give you those. A couple other shortcuts that will help you is to zoom in to a track. You can go ahead and press Control and the zoom wheel. So you can see I can zoom in and then out with the zoom wheel. And then another way to do that is also to do Control E. And if you keep, that will go ahead and expand the selection. And then also you could do Control F, will make it smaller. So those are a couple ways that you can zoom with some shortcuts. And lastly, there are a couple shortcuts that help with playback. If you go ahead and press the spacebar, it will go ahead and play. If you would like to loop a portion of the audio for playback, you can go ahead and select the portion you would like to loop, and then just press Shift and spacebar. And then it will continue to loop until you press stop. So those are a couple shortcuts that will help you when you are using Audacity. And this brings me to the second of the hidden tricks, and that is where to find all of the shortcuts that are available to you. In order to find all the shortcuts that are available to you, you can go up to Edit, and then Preferences, and then you're going to want to click on Keyboard, and then you'll see this is where all of the shortcuts are listed that you can use within Audacity. Now this is really powerful because not only can you see the shortcuts that you can use, which will speed up your workflow, but you can also change the shortcuts if you would like, and you can add new ones. So to change a shortcut, you would just double click here. And then once you have that clicked, you can just press Set, and that's down here. You can change the key that you use, or go ahead and just change it and then press Set or Clear. Either one of those, and you can change the shortcuts that are available to you in Audacity. Now, the third of the hidden tricks, it has to do with the effects, and there are plenty of effects that you can use within Audacity, and many of these effects are covered in detail on other videos, but I just want to point you out to one that is very, very useful, and that is the Normalize effect. So in order to use a Normalize, I'm going to go ahead and drag this track down here up to the second track. So I'm just going to go ahead and select it, and then Time Shift tool, and then move it around. And then I'm just going to drag it right up to the top here. So once you have your selection, then I'm going to go ahead and select this entire track. So now we have both of those. I'm going to go up to the effect and normalize. And what normalize is going to do is it's going to set the peak amplitude for all the tracks in that you selected. And what this does is it will bring everything in balance with the sound that you're hearing. And so if you have parts that are too soft here or too loud over here, it will bring it into one seamless audio so that everything is even throughout. And so that's one effect. But again, go ahead and look up all the different effects that you can use here, and plenty of them, and many of them are very useful in Audacity. So number 4 of the hidden tricks is probably the most powerful one when I found it. And that is that once you have all of the effects that you have created on an audio, you might want to use those effects again on other recordings. And if you use a lot of different effects, this could take a lot of time to have to put all those effects on every single track. So what you can do is basically save these as a template. And where you can find this is you can go up to Tools, and then you can click on Macros. And what this does is you can see all the different things that I have done in this example. And so what you can do is save this as like a template. And then when you bring in your raw audio and you want to use the exact same effects, maybe you have 6 or 7 or 8, 9 different effects that you want to use, you just use this. And then you can then apply those effects to the audio without having to do it one at a time. So again, using macros is extremely powerful. It's going to save you a ton of time with your editing of your audio. Number 5 of the hidden tricks is something you might not know, and that is that you can import video into Audacity, but it will be able to import just the audio portion of the video. So in order to do this, what you need to do is you need to go to Edit, and then Preferences, And then in Preferences, you can go down to Libraries. And here it's called the FFmpeg import. And what you need to do is download this onto your computer. So you can click the download button, and it's going to bring you to a screen similar to this. And then you can click on, if you have a Mac or a Windows. I went ahead and clicked on Windows, and it brings me to this instructions. And right here in the middle of the page is the download. And so you would just click on that and then download it on your computer. And then you'll have to locate it. And then once you do that, it will be synced into Audacity. So you will be able to, whenever you go to import something, so File and Import, when you click on audio, just import audio is fine. You can then find video and then click on that, and then it will bring the audio. So that saves you, again, more time, because you're not going to have to separate the audio and the video in another software to do this. So again, you do have that ability to import video, and again, not the whole video, just the audio from the video in Audacity so that you can edit it. Another time-saving tool is going to be, if you have many tracks that you're working with, it can be time-consuming to keep scrolling through them. And one way around this is to go ahead and press another shortcut, and that is Control, Shift, and C. So if I press Control, Shift, and C at the same time, what it does is it collapses all of the tracks so you can see them in one panel here. Or it makes them smaller, so you might have more than this, and so you might still have to scroll a little bit, but you won't have to scroll as much. And then if you want to expand those again, you can go ahead. You can either click this button here, and that will expand it, so this little triangle. And again, you can click that to collapse it as well, one at a time. Or you can do Control Shift X, and that will go ahead and expand all of the tracks at once. Number 7 on the hidden tricks is a couple effects, again, and mostly this is because many people who use Audacity use it so they can change the volume of what they are working with. And two tools that are very useful in this is the Amplify tool. So you would want to select what you would want to amplify. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this little part here, and I'm going to go to Effect, and then I'm going to press Amplify, and then I can tell it how much I would like to amplify that or make it louder or softer. If you have a positive number, it's going to make it louder. If you go ahead and bring this to the negative, it's going to make it softer. And again, when you go ahead and click Amplify, it's going to give you the best setting. So let me do that again. So if I do Effect, Amplify, it's going to give me the best setting without causing any clipping or distortion in your audio. You can always preview this before you apply it. And when I use effects, I try to use only one effect at a time. And once I get it perfect, then I go ahead and apply it. So I'll say, okay, here, and that made that portion a little louder. So that is one way to do this. But another way, which is probably faster for you, is the envelope tool, which will be able to change the audio in different places. And this is very good for if you have a lot of transitions. So it's F2, or you can press the envelope tool here. And what it'll do is it'll bring up the section here that you can change. So I'm going to click once. And then once I do that, then I can click again. And then I can start expanding. So each time you click, it will create another place where you can make something louder or softer. And you can make, if you click the entire track like that, it'll make the whole thing louder and softer. So extremely powerful. You don't have to go through every little one to change the audio. You can go ahead and listen to it after every time you do this. And again, if you use the looping feature we did before, you can loop something and be using this envelope tool while you're doing that. And lastly, there is one additional tip I'd like to include, and that is that you can simply, instead of going up to File and Import, you can just drag the file into Audacity. So here I've got one on my desktop called Chords. I'm just going to drag right into Audacity, and it's going to create a new track for that audio that you dragged. And again, this is going to save you time. Instead of having to go up to File and then Import or Open, you can just drag and it will open it right into Audacity. So you now know 7 hidden tricks on how to better use Audacity. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. I do my best to answer those. I have other Audacity tutorials available. I'll put links to them around this video. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.